Famulem, welcome again to Ice TV podcast. Inside the studio today with me, we get Mr. Harold Bosedeh George, and this man are a law student, and they do something very important where I think we all need for learn from today, and we therefore talk about in knowledge in the tourism sector in Salon and in personal work as a tour guide. Welcome to the studio, and this is Ice TV, and we're on the Ice podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much, Julius. That was a wonderful introduction.
All right. So I think one of the things that really dragged me into doing a podcast is the fact that, when we graduate from college, we want to stick to the plan. Like, I read this one and this is what I want to have a career in. But I kind of like people who find out a niche, who side and go get some things. And one of the people where I always look at as an example, like you're a law student and you are doing something else on the side. How the tour guide come in the picture in the first place?
It was something one of the things when I was growing up, it was someone who was segregated from most of my playmates because I didn't have skill to do sport and all of that. So most of the time I would just run away and just walk around and just get lost. And it is in that process of being around and getting lost and finding myself, finding new streets, finding new houses. I was fascinated about that, and I felt that it was something I really loved to do. And when I went to high school and the university, I was really fascinated about history and how it has an important part in our present life as Sierra Leonean and how rich our history is. But when I went to university, I did my bachelor's in history and politics, and it was wonderful. I was taught by doctors and professors who had been part of the history of Sierra Leone, and then in my mind I said this should be my mission in Sierra Leone, to give life to the history. And that's how I started being a tour guide. I've been to Liberia and Ghana and other West African nations, and how much importance they give into their history and to their monuments.
All right, so that is really a fascinating experience. You see, for me, I was disappointed in myself. When I went to China, we love tourism. I never went to visit any sites in Sierra Leone, nor take interest in looking at monuments or anything. So at least China exposed me to really seeing these places as important things to revisit. So beside the experience, did anyone speak to you that you need to go into, or I'll work with you and let's start doing?
Well, there is not an example. I didn't know anybody who was a tour guide. So I think it started by a friend. Her name is Kristen, and she said, "Oh, you need extra money. We're having some guests that are coming, and if you can do the tour with them, and then we can give you this money." And I needed the money, and walking and talking is something I really love doing. So we went online, we studied the book. There's this Brad traveling guide. Is the main guide we use to find the monuments in Sierra Leone. So we started that King Tour. It was 2 hours. We just finding the monuments. It was 10 years ago. We found the monument, and I had to study very hard for that monument. It's also wonderful. 10 years later, Brad traveling guide featured me in their story. Oh no, I'm part of the story. I'm part of the people who are identifying the monument and telling the story from Sierra Leone. So it was at that stage 10 years ago when I did the tour with the people, and they really enjoyed it.
You are now a law student. Do your classmates know that you are a tour guide, or you have this thing about history?
Yes, they know Sabi me. Being a Bosedeh George, the tour guide, because I always post story like that. I will go to places that they have been to, but I will talk about the historical importance, the cultural importance. I'm always telling story in my WhatsApp story, or my Instagram, my Facebook, the things connected to that. And the Peace Museum is there, and I always tell them the story of the peace sports process. Like, this is living history, and people come to visit me in my house. It's like, oh, I'm living in Gloucester Village, and I just tell them. So I still embodied the history of Sierra Leone even as a law student.
So let me take you back. Like, how was your first tour like? Were you nervous or excited about?
Well, I was very excited about the tour. I studied very well. So I had a mentor. His name is Nataraja Rajaraman. And he told me, if you want to be a good teacher, you have to study 10 hours for 1 hour lesson. And it bit so much. And so it was like a 3 hours tour. Then I had to study 30 hours. So it's a long time, so I had like preparation. It was not like, oh, do you want to do this? I was like, yes, and then I go and do it. I was told a month before. I had to prepare, I had to do my research, I had to go to the places over and over again, I have to touch and feel if they have any historical significance. I had to look the dates that they have. I have to feel and ask the people that were there about their knowledge about these monuments. Also, what was important, I also had practiced a little bit of like division of labor. So I was guided by all the people who were there with me. So I had to say, oh, can you talk about this? You know so much about this. Can you talk about this? You've lived in Kobe. Do you want to talk about the history of Kobe and the present day of Kobe? You're a medical practitioner. Can you talk about it? So I had to acknowledge that there were people who talk so much about other concepts that I don't have much knowledge about.
Like, when tourists come to the country and take you as a tour guide, what kind of places do you take these people to, and which is your favorite spot?
So I usually tell the people that I am not a tourist guide, I'm an historical tour guide, because the difference between the two is a tour guide take you to touristic place, you take pictures, you go around, and you're fascinated at how the place are. I am an historical tour guide. I take you to the place and I add the history, the story, the culture, the identity, the present of those stories. So that's what I do. My favorite spot for a very long time has been the Cotton Tea. It's like the Tower of London in the UK, or the Statue of Liberty in America. I've been affected by it, and we're looking forward for a regrowth, a regeneration of the Cotton Tea, because the Cotton Tea has a potential to regenerate, to grow again. In Sierra Leone, a lot of cities, they do have their monuments. It's also wonderful of the biodiversity in Sierra Leone ecosystem. And you can go to all of the cities. I've been to a few places in Sierra Leone, and all of the cities are so unique, and they have so much to offer. It's not like other countries that you have like the same ecosystem. It's just the beach. You go to Kenema. I have been going to Kenema so frequently. In Kenema, you have Tiwa Island. It's now part of the UNESCO. So it's really wonderful. You have like Tiwa. It's wonderful. It's gorgeous. You have like wildlife. You have Gola in the same Kenema, and then you go to like Kabbalah. You have all the mountains and the rivers, and it's wonderful. Sierra Leone is full of diversity. It's full of sports that tourists will enjoy. And I'm so proud to be a Sierra Leonean.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. I'm very proud to be a Sierra Leonean. I think I was wondering, do we have too many tour guides in Sierra Leone, or historic tour guides?
Well, we definitely do not have too many tour guides in Sierra Leone. That's true. And it's not an occupation that anybody can get into, because it's
the demand.
Yes, I think it's a calling. So you have tour guides at museums, we have few museums in Sierra Leone. So we have the Sierra Leone National Museum, we have the Peace and Cultural Museum, we have the Peace Museum, we have the Railway Museum. So we have 4 museums in Sierra Leone, which is amazing. And then we have like the tour guides in these museums.
When you were talking about the cotton tree, like, this is your own personal opinion. You know, the cotton tree be done broke, and for them, you go prefer let the cotton tree grow on its own and regenerate again, or let them put another monument, they like construct something else.
Yeah, I think I spoke about it earlier. It would be good that if the cotton tree can be able to regenerate, because it will be a story, it's our own identity. There's nothing true of us being Sierra Leone. Like there's no, like, it's like a main symbol of Sierra Leone. It's like all of these monuments of those different countries which we have spoken about. So I've attended, it was documentary theme where my member began, and the mayor of Freetown, Even Akisoya, was there and said they're doing project some people in agriculture for them to be able to regenerate it. The people who are knowledgeable in that have come to test it, and they said it can regenerate. And we have all these beautiful stories. I pray that it come back to life.
Like we don't eat inside so and fire be done the hamburger. I would also love to see the cotton tree regenerate. If it cannot, let there be something really makes people remember that the cotton tree was there. You have an experience in guiding people to different sites. Do you see Sierra Leoneans taking these places seriously?
Well, that's a very good question. So, a lot of Sierra Leoneans, a lot of the people that come to my tour or that do tour in Sierra Leone are not native Sierra Leone or local inhabitants of Sierra Leone. Not to me and you, because for you to is like expensive in our money.
Alright, so do people pay to go to the museums?
So it's very, very reasonable for nationals. So some of the museums are free. Some of them cost like maybe $2 or 20 leons, 10 leons for nationals. So it's very, very reasonable for nationals. It's almost nothing.
Do you have any recommendation that will encourage citizens to start visiting these places and think it's important as the foreigners?
Yeah, I think the Peace Museum is doing a wonderful job. So the Peace Museum tells the story of the Civil War in Sierra Leone, and they're stationed at the special court. So I think once or twice a week they invite schools to the museum to come and do the tour and explain it to them the history. And I think it's very good. And then they allow like civil society groups to be able to come to the museum to do the tour. And also I think the Relics and Monument Commission also doing that.